Ronda Rousey is finishing up with the WWE, and does that leave a return to the Ultimate Fighting Championship? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. Dana White has given his opinion on a potential Ronda Rousey return, and if he can borrow a phrase from Vincent Kennedy McMahon, he thinks there is no chance in hell of Ronda Rousey coming back to UFC. And you know what? I agree with him. But first we're going to have a look at what he said, and then we'll break down why I believe that she has no future in UFC. Not saying I wouldn't like to see her in UFC, I just think it is highly unlikely that she will ever return. Anyway, as we know, she is finishing up with WWE. She was the first female inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame. And we had Dana White being asked by Sports Illustrated about a potential return for Ronda Rousey. There was rumours spiraling that Ronda Rousey could come back at UFC 292. Ronda Rousey's name was floating about for whatever reason, and then Dana White gave his opinion. This is what White had to say on a potential Ronda Rousey return. Quote, "There's no shot. She's accomplished everything she set out to do. Her dream was to win a UFC championship, then a WWE championship, and she's done it. Now she's starting a family. Ronda has made so much money, and she's still making a lot of money in sponsorships." End of quote. And he pretty much kept it short, he kept it sweet, he kept it simple, and he kept it true. Let's be honest, that is what Ronda Rousey wanted to do. She wanted to win a UFC championship, she's done that. She went to WWE, she wanted to win the WWE championship, she's done that. She's wanted to create a family for a while now. I know she's already got one kid, now she wants another. She's 36 years old. I doubt she wants to have a second kid and then 2 years later come back either to WWE at 38 or even worse, back to a legit fighting game. It just doesn't make any logical sense. Like I said, she is 36. It's been 8 years since she last won an actual fight. 7 years since she stepped in the octagon. When you step away for 7 years, you're not going to be the same fighter. And let's keep in mind, she actually left the UFC with 2 defeats. It's not like she went out on top. It's not like she was on the top of her game when she left the UFC to quit and then join up in WWE. No, she'd been battered by Holly Holm and Amanda Nunes. And look, I don't want to take anything away from Ronda Rousey, because as judo goes, she was fantastic, and she won the majority of her matches with the armbar. She won the majority of her matches within the first minute of the first round. You know, people barely were able to take her over a minute. Until she lost, I'd say Miesha Tate was the only one to give her a good fight out of all her matches. That was the only one that actually went past round 1 up until she lost to Holly Holm. So that just goes to show you how good Ronda Rousey was. I mean, if you look at her 10th, 11th and 12th victories of her career when she was defending the title, so this wasn't bum fights, that she was headlining pay-per-views, and she won in 16, 14 and 34 seconds. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Ronda Rousey won 3 main events. She headlined 3 main events and won them all with just over a minute, 1 minute and 4 seconds. So she didn't last long in the ring. She took opponents out, but I think you could see that potentially when fights did go longer, maybe she wasn't that skilled outside of the armbar. If you look at the Miesha Tate fight, I thought Miesha Tate was doing really well. I thought Miesha Tate would have maybe won that fight on points, but Ronda Rousey tapped her out in the 3rd round. But yeah, no, a great at judo, no doubt about that. But in terms of being an overall all-round fighter, probably not the best. Then you factor in it's been 7 years since she's been in the ring. There's going to be better fighters than her now in UFC. She's 36 years old. It just doesn't make any logical sense. Ronda Rousey, if she went back to the UFC and she wanted to be at a competitive level, she wanted to fight at the top of the card, she would likely get her ass kicked, and that's just the reality of the fact. She was losing when she left first time around. I highly doubt she's improved. You take 7 years out of the legit fighting game and you do fake wrestling, and no offense to wrestling, been a wrestling fan since I was 5 years old, but you do fake wrestling after not fighting in the UFC for 7 years, you aren't going to be at the same level. Plus, she's aged. No, Ronda Rousey at 36 isn't going to be as good as she was at 29 when she had her last pro fight. And when she had her last pro fight, she got whooped by Amanda Nunes. So it would be a disaster. Dana White is 100% spot on. She's done what she wanted to achieve. She's had a good career. She's making a lot of money. She's still one of the most marketable sports women in the world. And that's not going to change. So I don't think we'll see Ronda Rousey back doing anything. Potentially she could do a WWE run, because I think with WWE she could do one off. It wouldn't require that much training. But if she did come back to the UFC, it's an actual fight. Then you've got training camps. I think it would just take too much time away from Ronda Rousey, and I believe she would be setting herself up to get absolutely smashed. So I don't see the point in it. Ronda Rousey, in terms of the fighting game, is done, in my opinion. That's it, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Fog Wrestling, peace out. Ronda Rousey, great fighter. I don't want to make it sound like I'm taking anything away from her. Like I said, her judo was fantastic. She won gold for it. She tapped out so many people to the armbar. She was really, really good during her time. I just think by the end of her career, people were beginning to figure her out. Overall, she wasn't, all round it. She wasn't that great. And like I said, 8 years has passed since her last victory. So I don't think it would be good for her to go back in the octagon. That's it, guys. Catch you in the next one. Been Fog Wrestling. Thanks for watching, and peace.